Hey everybody, today we are back with another A plus entry backtesting session. In today's session, we'll be testing this on NQ using the 1 minute time frame. Now the entry criteria is on the screen right now. This is my A plus entry model. The directional bias will be determined by the 4-hour mainly. Now there's two variants that we do utilize. We use the previous 4-hour candles lows and highs to find sweeps. We do also mark out the closest bearish and bullish PD ray, okay, because we don't want to be sweeping into a bullish fair value gap. Now, continuation if order flow is correct. Now, essentially, all this means is the 1 minute time frame is showing bullish price action, even though we are sweeping the high. Okay, we can still take a short-term buy continuation trade here. So a bonus into our directional bias is if we find SMT, and if we are beneath the midnight and 8:30 opening prices, would be in a discount, and if we're above, we're in a premium, so expensive. Now times, so this is very important here. We only trade macro intervals. A macro is the first 15 minutes and last 15 minutes of every single hour. Because we're trading NQ, only a few of them are high probable, but we will discuss this as we go along. Entries, so this is what we're actually using to buy or sell, is a breaker, volume imbalances, accumulation plus BPR. Okay, so fair value gaps or inversions. We're going to be going through this. You'll be able to see in real time my live decision making. So if you got any questions, do not worry. Now, targets. So if we're using the 4-hour directional bias, is a 1 to 2, and then the closest swing high, equal high, volume imbalance, or fair value gap. Plus, we take partials. So we secure 50% at 1 to 1. Now, if we're going with order flow on the 1 minute time frame, we're going to go for a 1 to 1.5, and then again, the closest draw on liquidity. The two losses, we're done for the day. One full win, we are also done for the day. So let's get into it. We're going to be using the FX replay website to go ahead and backtest. But before we go here, let's just go and randomly shuffle to a year to really see how I perform with a random data selection. Okay, I don't want any cheating. I want you guys to really see my actual thought process in real time. And this is probably the best way to remove hindsight. So we're going to 2020, the year of COVID. Now we do the same for the month. Of course, there is 12 months. We're going to shuffle this live. I never cut my videos. The 4th is April. So 2020, April. That's interesting. So let's go back to FX replay. You can see here the amount of hours I spend back testing every single month. It's very important. I've mainly been testing April and May. So let's go ahead, create a new session, YouTube backtest April. So account balance doesn't really matter. Asset will be MNQ and MES. I do mainly trade these, even just because it allows me to trade partials. So year, select, and the month. So we'll start from the beginning. Let's also select 2020 and we'll put to May the 1st. Create session. Then you come down, press play. And now is as if we were looking at 2020 April as if it were today. So we can see here, I was looking at Bitcoin. This is live. Now it looks like we are live, but we're actually in historical data, i.e. in April 2020. So let's fast forward the next silver bullet. Okay, so we have actually missed a session here because we can trade pre-market if we have red folder news, but to avoid cheating, we're just going to keep going. Now, once the New York Stock Exchange opens at 9:30, okay, my time is based off New York, so if you want to change it, you can go down to the bottom right-hand side here, time zone. We base it off New York because it's the most commonly traded. We can see here, New York Stock Exchange opens at 9:30. The first high probable macro is from 9:45 till 10:15. So let's fast forward to that. Now, a macro is essentially the only time that we can place a buy or sell position, but the trade can run outside the macro. So don't worry about that either. On the right-hand side, we have ES to find a correlation. On the left-hand side, we have NQ. So I don't need the 4-hour for ES. And let's add this as well. Okay. So the first thing I notice is we have swept the 4-hour low. Immediately, we favor being bullish, okay? In the law of reversal trading, if we sweep the 4-hour candles low, we look to buy. So let's mark the low. Let's mark the high. Okay. Now, the next thing, before we just jump in and start placing buy positions, where's the closest bullish and bearish PD raise? Now, bullish fair value gap, we're currently trading inside it. More importantly, where's the bearish one? Here. Okay. So you can see here, we've got a bearish fair value gap. This is the closest bearish selling pressure. Okay, it's important that we know this. We don't want to be sweeping a low into a bearish gap. Imagine it was here, because then we're going to encounter selling pressure on the 1 minute, which is going to impact the direction of the chart. So we're bullish. Now let's go to the 1 minute. We're in the macro. What is the order flow? So I'm looking to see, now we're bullish. Are we respecting bullish fair value gaps and disrespecting bearish gaps? So we've disrespected a bullish gap. Okay, I'd say order flow is more neutral. We've inversed 2 bullish gaps. I'm going to wait for price to displace. Oh, I pressed back by accident. But we're going to wait for price to displace above that short-term high, okay, indicating buying pressure, right? So on the left, let's get NQ. So I don't see anything just yet. Okay. Zooming back out. There's a short-term displacement here. Okay. I think I'm going to try that. Do we have any SMT? NQ took the low. Yeah, we're going to try this. Just because we've got SMT, we displaced through a short-term high here. See, we briefly pulled back. A displacement is where we break through a previous higher high or lower high. Doesn't matter. So 20 points covers the fair value gap. So if it wicks me in, we'll make it risk-free at 0.9, okay? So we're in. So let's go back and place the position now. Now for the risk, we're going to keep it around 640. So let's place a limit, entry price, one more candle. Copy price, put it here. Okay, stop loss, we want 80 ticks, which is 20 points. And then we're going to go for a 1 to 2. So risk-free, 0.9. It's news. What's the problem here? Copy price. This. Fine. There we go. A buy limit can only be placed below the current price. That's what we're doing. Copy the price. Entry price. Just delete that. Buy limit. Entry price. Stop loss. We want 20. Okay, profit. 160. There we go. Partials at 1 to 1. There we go. Why was that being so difficult? So we entered off a displacement plus the fair value gap, and we do have SMT kind of confirming my bias here. NQ made a lower low, whilst ES made a higher high. This is bullish SMT. Now, normally, NQ will follow ES. Okay, so a bullish SMT that you want to see is ES making a higher low, whilst NQ makes a lower low. As we know in a market, when we're increasing, we'll make higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so we secured a 1 to 1. We're risking 640 per position is what I do on my normal accounts anyway. And final TP. So entry a little lower. Yeah, so I'm going to do final TP at 1 to 2 here. It says it's there. It's because this is a point difference. There we go. So we're running nicely. Boom. First position secured, full win here. So let's go to the next day. There's no need to overtrade. Okay. So we've got 8:30 red folder news. What I mentioned before is there's 4 macros. The pre-market macro is obviously the clues in its name is before the New York Stock Exchange open. We have a 15 or 30-minute interval from 8:45 till 9:15 that it is valid to look for buying or selling positions. Now, currently, I'm going to wait for this to break because I see a double bottom and a double top. This to me is too choppy and I've got to follow my rules here. So if we see this, I wait for a break either above or below, and we can see here that rule played out perfectly. That's exactly why we wait, because price was actually consolidating. Okay, now the double top, double bottom rule is the first indication that we are even consolidating. So you can take that rule, go ahead and back test it. Now, I'm still not interested because price failed to close above the high here, giving me another double top. So doesn't look like the first macro or the pre-market macro has given us anything. Let's go to the seconds. Did this break beneath the low? No, because the low is here. There we go. So now we're going to the second AM macro, which is from 10:45 till 11:15. Now, what are we doing currently? If we zoom out, we have not swept the low or the high. So when we have this situation, we go with the most recent touch of a bullish or bearish P ray. Here we're inside a bullish fair value gap. I'm looking to buy. Now, I'm only going to look to buy at the low here if we have some form of SMT. And it doesn't look like we do. No, it's correlated. So if there's no SMT and we're at the low and order flow is clearly bearish, what we need is a unicorn model. Now, a uni model is where we have price making lower lows, lower highs, and then we get the higher high and the previous lower high. Okay, we briefly made a lower high. It overlaps with a fair value gap, and we use the entry off the breaker. Okay, it's a failed order block essentially. So there's nothing here for me, and we're back to consolidating. We're not trading that. We want clean price action. I've been getting destroyed in May 2025. And that's what I've actually been doing, testing every single May that's ever existed. But all Mays tend to be quite bad for my systems. So we delete everything. What are we doing? So we're inside a bullish fair value gap. Currently, we're in the PM session. This is your final session of the day. And it will be valid if we don't have if we haven't traded today or we took one loss. Now, the PM session will be the best when AM has consolidated. Okay, now we've got some better context. So we swept a low inside a gap. We definitely favor being bullish. Let's wait for either SMT or a uni model. Not convinced in this just yet. Okay. I'm going to give this a short position actually, just because order flow, what are we doing? We're sweeping highs and gaps and displacing lower. Now we've got equal highs. Do I want to trade after that? So I never use 5 points anymore. I moved to the 10 minimum. Why don't I like this? What don't I like about it? I'm gonna try it. So we've got a volume imbalance from a fair value gap here. You know what? It's got these equal highs. I'm not doing it. I've been getting too many losses with this. There we go. So I want price to actually tap into the bearish gap and then show me a volume imbalance. Here, we can use this to enter from the gap, but with a volume imbalance and order flow, it just doesn't make sense because we may as well try and enter off the equal highs, anticipating them to go lower. I'm not going to do so because we didn't do that already. So it still works. Okay. If price, nah, there's nothing I really want to take here. We'll come back tomorrow. Not every day there's going to be a lot of opportunities. Okay. It loads. So this is what we're looking at. Price has inversed this bearish gap. What about this one? Is it inversed? Okay, so that's the closest bullish PD right now. As you know, once a bearish gap has a closure above it, it means it's being disrespected, and we can use that as a bullish area to buy from. So we swept the low inside an inversion fair value gap. Bearishness is all the way here, so we're not going to mark that. So dropping back down, we favor being bullish. Of course, we want to break this accumulation. Exactly like that. So we're going pre-market. No, first AM. Sorry, not pre-market. This looks nice for some reason. I'm not going to take that though. Okay, so that's just a minute late. We did have a breaker that overlaps with the gap. That's why I said it looks nice. But we are passing. If it comes back to this gap, I will place a position. 10 points makes sense. We're covering one fair value and two. So we'd be in and we'd secure a one-to-one here. So let's go back now. You're probably asking why am I doing it like that? I just want to save some form of time here. But it feels good to be back. We're going to be uploading. I said I'm uploading all 2025, but it's been getting warm here in Portugal. So I've been enjoying my life for once. The entry price. Why is the stop loss moved? We want 40 ticks. That's 10 points. We're going for 80. Partials at 1-to-1. Auto break even, 0.9. Let's go. 1-to-2 is here. And it's a high inside a gap. So I like that. Wow. Incredible. Incredible position. So we actually took this off the breakaway gap. Price was displacing quite nicely. We've had one order flow, one bullish gap get respected, 2, 3. It just makes sense to continue higher. Let's go back tomorrow. So a little bit of context as well. April tends to be my best month, and May tends to be the worst every single year without fail. Okay, nothing pre-market. Right. So we're in the first day of macro. I've deleted everything. I want to make sure we've got a fresh perspective here. We've swept the 4-hour candle high. 4-hour candle low has not been swept. We are inside now. So we inverse this bearish PD array. This is now bullish. That's the closest bullish for now. Bearishness is all the way up here, actually. We can mark that. Extend right. And let's make it bearish. There we go. Okay, so we've got quite a long room before we encounter strong selling pressure. And the same to be bullish. Okay. Order flow. What is order flow? I would say we are currently bearish now. A little bit more neutral. Where's price came from? So we are delivering from a bullish gap as we speak. Okay. This is not giving me anything here. So there's the second gap touch, but at the same time, we also touch the gap here. So bullish PD array now moves to this fair value, which is also the 4-hour candle's low. Okay. Yeah, so we're still bearish based off the last candle, but I want someone to get stopped out. So there's a buy start, sell stop. I'm not convinced in this candle. There we go. So we touched the bullish PD array. Wow, one absolute displacement lower. Nothing for us in this session. We're just dropping. Okay, accumulating. Bear in mind, we're inside a bullish gap. We've swept the 4-hour candles low here. Strong volume lower. Do I want to place a position? So there's a sell up here with that volume imbalance. Okay. Very nice displacement. We are definitely taking this position. So if it comes and tags me in, we're going to use a 20-point stop this time. Same rules apply. We're going to go for a 1, 2, 2, and then the closest swing high here, which would be 3.1. And we make it risk-free 0.9, secure half at 1-1. Okay, we're in. So let's go back here and tag that in. So far, we're 2 for 2. So place a limit on the fair value. Stop loss 80 ticks, that's 20 points. 160, we'll move it. Auto break even at 0.9. Like it. Final TP for me is going to be around that region. Around this area. So in. Okay. Price is holding. So. That's secure? Or did it tag as break even and then push higher? There's no way. Yeah. So we got tagged break even, unfortunately. Price swept the low, making this a breakout. Is what it is. Right, let's go back to the PM. See if we can find anything. Wow, this looks horrible. Immediately horrible. So inside this bullish gap. Okay, so PM session, like we mentioned before, is 13:45 till 14:15. Currently, I don't like that we can't display slower. So I'm waiting. There we go. We've got a displacement lower. Swept a 4-hour low. No, we haven't, but we're inside a gap still. Mm, should we take this position? I think so. I think so. So we're going to try this. I'm actually going to place two positions. Let's place one here. 20 points. We're taking this as accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and we can use a balanced price range, pushing price higher. A balanced price range is where we've got a inversion fair value gap that overlaps with a regular fair value gap. So in. But so at the same time, we got entered in that accumulation, manipulation, distribution setup. There was a inversion. Perhaps we should have closed and went the other way. 2020 hindsight. That's a loss. Let's go to the next day. It's a good setup. Let's go to the first AM. There's no news, so we're not going to trade pre. It's disgusting. Let's get a displacement higher or lower. Okay, there's the lower. Still don't like it. It's a displacement. Okay, so this is now a bearish area of pressure. We inversed the bullish gap. In terms of being bullish, we have this. Our high is here. So currently we're bearish. And order flow does reflect that. We're respecting bearish P rates and displacing lower. This is just not giving me. Actually, I'll take this. So we're going to place a sell here. Stop loss 80. Okay, that's good. 80. Let's just double check that the stop loss makes sense. So we're taking this off this fair value gap. It does overlap this mitigation. It's enough room. Yeah, that's enough room. Let's try it. Okay, so we displaced lower again. I'm going to move the sell to here. Okay. Stop loss covers this whole range. So we're using this as a breakaway. We do have a low mitigation. Yeah, let's try it. So I just want to make sure that are risk-free at 0.9. Okay, 2 losses. That's unfortunate, to be honest, but yeah, another good trade. I'd take that again as well. So we're going to go to the second AM session, which is 10:45. Okay, we're inside the session now. I'm going to try another sell here. Yeah, we're going to try instant execution. Shit, we don't want that. There we go. Instant execution, 20 pips, take profit. Yeah, take partials, 80. I like it. We got a breaker with a fair value gap. I got this. So max loss for the day. We're back. We're back to break even. We got red folder news. Pre-market open macro 8:45. Right, we are in session. Now, if price wants to open up higher here, I may place a position. Whatever it opens up higher would give us a volume imbalance. I just want to make sure that the 4-hour time frame aligns with us as well. 4-hour, we are inside this bearish gap. Okay. What's the order flow? I'd say it's bullish. Disrespected one gap. Yeah, I'd say we're bullish. So if this can open up higher, I will place a position going for a 1 to 1.5. What about 10 points? Yeah, no, we'll use 20. Okay. It opened up higher. So let's go back one candle. So it's not consolidating. Shit, we've got a double top and double bottom. I can't even take this. Okay. So let's just see how that would have played out, actually. But we can't take if we've got a double top and double bottom. I do think it's going to work, though, which is annoying. Yeah. But I've got to stick to my rules here. If we got a double top, double bottom, I cannot take the position till we displace out like we've just done now. That's annoying. Okay. Wait for a pullback. If it comes to this candle here, I'll place another position. Stop loss will be 10 points. Going for a 1 to 1.5, 2.1. Should we take this? No. Okay. So let's see if that would have actually worked again. So we've got a double top. I know sometimes you guys will be like, oh, well, they're succeeding. But overall, over 1,000 trades, it's not worth the negative P&L. Like, you still make money, don't get me wrong. But what makes us more is trading high probable conditions. Okay. Nothing for us in that session. We're going to come to the first AM. Nothing yet. Still nothing. Okay, so news came out and we have a pretty decent drop to the downside there. This is now the closest bullish area of pressure. Bullish, bearish is still up there. Okay. So a little bit indecisive here. I want price to tap a PDA or sweep the low. There we go. So we tap the bullish gap. We favor being bullish. This now gives us a bit of bias to go from. I'm going to try this. If we tap this gap. Okay. So we got the limit or the stop loss right under that fair value. Wow, April. We're having a losing streak here. We're down now. 3 losses in a row. Okay. It's a nice imbalance. If this can open up lower, I'm convinced we're going to keep pushing. So we'll use 20 points. There we go. So we opened up lower. See how we've got 2 candles here. We've got a volume imbalance that's bearish, i.e. in the split seconds, the current candle opened lower, indicating bearish volume. So now we can go back to here. We'll keep the stop where it is. Going to go for a 1 to 1.5. Risk free at 0.9. Go. So we want a sell stop. 1 to 1.5, we're trading continuation model, right? Order flow is bearish. Entry must be multiple of 2, 5. Okay. Sell stop, sorry. 80, 20. Risk free. There we go. Finally got a win. So we're back in profit now. What's that? 3 losses at 4. 4 losses in a row. Buy, sell. Did I place 2 positions? Or was that different days? Wow. That's not too often 4 losses in a row. Let's go to the next day. No news. No news. We are not interested for pre-market. Now this I am interested. If price comes back to this level without even checking the 4 hour, I will sell this. Okay. So this was a bullish area. Pressure. Okay, so we're gonna have to go off the 4 hour lows and highs. We've swept the high and not the low. So we favor being bearish. To sell this, I'm gonna need a fair value gap that overlaps. Is this SMT? High. Oh, okay, we got SMT. I'm gonna take a sell this area. So instant execution, we want market stop loss 80. So I'm taking this as a breaker. Take partials 80. Wait, I'm trying to sell. Shit. Yes, reply. Because we're selling. You guys, you heard me before that. So place the position. Sell. Okay, there we go. Boomer using this sometimes. So we also got SMT, by the way. That's what convinced me. So I see price is moving its way down already, disrespecting a bearish fair value gap, disrespecting two bullish gaps. We also got accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. So see how we accumulate, we manipulate the other way, and then we distribute in the intended direction. So 1 to 1 we secure half, 1 to 2 is my final position here. Bottom of this gap. Okay, we secured a partial, and the rest got tagged break even. Still bearish. Okay, now I've had a change in state that's bullish. Okay. I'm waiting for a displacement again lower, exactly like that. There's no SMT, so I'm gonna need a fair value gap, and now we've got a new candle. So we're not taking that. And that's why. So essentially, when we have a new 4 hour candle, we disregard our previous candle's bias and wait for the 4 hour to do something. Okay. So I'm gonna wait for a low or high to be swept. And look where we react from. So our balanced price range, perfect. BPR pushing price lower. Can't take it though. Okay, so we're gonna go to 10:45, second AM macro. We got a small win, but we can take another position. So we can have 2 small wins and we'd be done for the day. I don't like this. Okay. So we're going PM session. Is this consolidating? It is. Right. Let's actually see if we break this. There we go. I was going to skip, but perhaps we can break. This looks clean. Pretty strong bullish order flow, right? We're disrespecting multiple bearish gaps all the way along this move higher here. We're respecting bullish gaps. Okay. So I'm going to wait for price to pull back to a bullish fair value gap like that. Don't inverse it. Okay, new candle closure. Gonna need to be swept now. Go. Well, there's the sweep. And now we have a breaker. Can we get this to overlap? There we go. Gonna try it. 10 points is okay. So we swept the 4-hour high. Sell. Okay, we're using 10 points because we're in the PM. Shouldn't be that volatile. Partials. Boy. There we go. Wow. So you see what I mean by the breaker? We want the fair value gap to overlap with the last down close candle in a bearish scenario. This was a bullish order block. We want to see that get disrespected with a closure beneath the candle body. If that happens, we can take the next immediate sell off the fair value. I'm going to keep everything the same here. Way. So we reverse last minute off a fair value gap. So we're going to come back tomorrow. It's 2 small wins. 4 losses though. That may have been getting smoked, but I normally take two consecutive losses and then a win. 2 consecutive losses, win. That's kind of how May's been. 9:30. We're accumulating. Let's break. Doesn't play too fast. So inside the bearish fair value gap here, we've been delivering from this bullish gap. So this would be a valid sell target, this low, inside a fair value gap. Okay, we swept the high. We favor being bearish. We do favor being bearish, but ultimately, currently, we are seeing signs of 1-minute bullish order flow. So we are taking that. See how this candle opened higher? So volume imbalance. Price wants to come back. I will go for 1 to 1.5 off the candle closure. Place order. Buy limit. Using 10 points again, and we're going to go for 60. Risk free. No, we don't want partials. Risk free at 0.9. That's what I was trying to do. Okay. We are going to try that again. So I'll try both. If it comes back here, this position will be valid and we target the high. So we're going to keep that to the left. Because sometimes I'll take a loss on that first one. Then the second one will tag me in. So stop loss covers the fair value. When these are correct, we tag it and instantly move. Okay. We're in. I'm the risk free now. Wow. Did I hit? Yeah. Nice. Let's come back tomorrow. Bullish order flow, volume imbalance. Now, these have to be these are going to take you some time, to be honest, to really master these volume imbalances. But if you join the Telegram, I'm going to leave it in the description below. You're going to see every time I take one, so you can study the video, download the video, and actually learn from what I'm posting inside it. We're going to be back posting all in the Telegram, our daily bias, exactly like we're doing now. We're going to be posting that every single day. So do join. I'll leave the link in the description below. Now we're trading pre-market. Yeah, we're trading pre-market. Order flow is bearish. Do I want to take this? We've got a volume imbalance, don't we? We open lower. Do I like this? Not particularly. I'm going to take it anyway. It's a limit. Stop. So there's news today, so we're not going to make it risk-free. Okay, now we delete it because we took the objective. And delete that. Now do I want to put it back on? We swept a low inside what? What are we looking at on the 4 hour? So inside a bullish gap. Okay. 4 hour high is here. It's not been swept. 4 hour low. We're inside a bullish gap currently. Okay. Move this to here. So we favor being bullish. Order flow is currently bearish. Yeah, I'm going to take this position. Because now we displace past the short-term low. We just don't want to reject it. And then come back higher. Target this low. Target this candle body. We're in. And we're out. What a trade. So this is why I said it should happen quite fast. Pretty big stop loss, but what I find interesting, we took 4 losses in April. Quite rare. So we've got news again. We're in the next day here. Order flow. Let's find order flow. First, I want to see the 4 hour time frame. What am I looking at? We swept the 4 hour candles high. The 4 hour low. Okay, there's the closest. Bullish PWA. Where's the closest bearish? It's up here. So we've got a bearish fair value gap there. Okay. Right, I'm happy to look for sells until we tap this bullish pressure. Okay. Gonna need a displacement with a... We've got SMT. We've got SMT, I'll take this. Yeah, we do. There's the high. Okay. We're gonna try this anyway. We're gonna try off the mitigation. 10-point stop. We've got a fair value gap that overlaps it. If it enters me, it enters me. But we've got SMT. When we have SMT, we don't need order flow because we have SMT essentially aligning with our bias. Take profit. Boy. Break even, definitely. Okay, stop loss. I'm happy with everything here. So small win, and then prices came all the way back to the upsides. Let's see what it wants to do here. So it's a bit choppy to me. I might take a buy. Time is it? 9:04. We did open higher. Try it. Yeah, I'll try it. Just don't like how big the stock. Why is there no volume? 2020. Who's in charge? Trump. I think it'd be a little bit more volatile. 80. No risk free. go for the wick high here. Boom. 1.5. We have recovered the drawdown here. And it's quite important that when you have periods of drawdown, because I have drawdown throughout the year all the time. Okay, April's my best month, and I still took 4 losses, which is a fantastic learning experience for you guys. So 8:30, no red folder news. There we go. So market is open. Order flow is bearish. One more candle. Okay, now order flow doesn't matter. Imagine we're bullish this low. Yeah. So we swept the 4-hour candles low. 4-hour candles high has also been swept, but in this case, we go with the most recent. What have we most recently done? We swept the low. This got inversed as well. This closes bullish. What about bearishness? Okay. I'm going to take a buy here off the breaker. We see we have lower high, just got inversed, displacement. We do have a fair value gap that overlaps the candle. So I'm going to take that. So 1-to-1 we secure 50. 80 ticks, because it's quite volatile now. 160. Partials at 1-to-1. 0.9 risk free. I'm gonna target this high. Okay. I like it. Now I'm gonna move it to this. Reason for that, we still have a fair value gap that overlaps. I don't want to miss the position. We've also inversed a bearish gap, so we've now got a balanced price range. Let's delete this. 20 points still covers it, to be honest. And 80. Buy limit. 160. 80. Partials. Cool. Stop loss. 80. Boom. Come on. What's the problem? Buy limit. This is beneath the current price. 160. 80. Fine. There we go. We're in. Target. Beginning of that gap now. Oh, April. April price action. That is going to finish today's technical breakdown, or should I say backtesting video. Going to leave my Telegram in the description below. Before you go ahead and close this video, let's check the analytics. Okay, you can see we suffered pretty bad drawdown here. 71% win rate, 1 break even, fantastic result. And we ended up with 5,000. So around 9R in profit here. So I appreciate the support. I'm going to keep posting regularly. Okay, I'd had to take some time off due to my health, but we're back. So get ready, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back posting every single week. Appreciate the support. Thank you, everybody.